And the invitation is for you to talk about your passion, the things that you're really into. And you'll have about 2 minutes each. We're going to set you up in breakout rooms of 2. And I'm going to model that with Maggie. Maggie, do you want to ask me what my passion is? And we'll just kind of do a little impromptu thing.
Hey, James, what is your passion? What are you
My
passionate
passion.
about?
Hey, thanks, Maggie. Glad you asked. You know, these days, hanging out in nature is one of my passions. I've even come to the point of wanting to play nature sounds in my room, just so that I can feel a little bit more connected to nature. And I find that when I go out there, I feel safe and I feel connected to the natural world. And it gives me not only clarity of mind, but I get to kind of relax and be at peace and connect with the non-human beings that are out there, little squirrels and rabbits, and occasional foxes. So how about you, Maggie? What's your passion? What are you into?
Oh gosh, so many things. I think it would have to do, I mean, you kind of stole mine as well. Definitely out in nature. But being creative and coaching actors and being creative and also acting myself in all the ways that we can these days. So just that creative, when the creative juices are flowing and you're sharing it and something comes out of nothing. That's what I'm really passionate about.
Thank you, Maggie. Loved hearing that. Okay, so I am blocking the meeting and I've set up some breakout rooms. Let's see, Maggie. Yeah, so I'm going to put you in a room here. And then we'll so you can come back to the main room, Maggie. All right, so you'll have 2 minutes each, and then we'll check back in. So what's your passion? And the more you share, the more connected you'll be, the more you'll get out of this workshop. We'll see you in about 2 to 4 minutes. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Hoping you're feeling energized from that. Would love to hear from 1 or maybe 2 people on how that was for you, just to check in with someone else that you may not have met before. Raise your hand if you'd like to share how you're feeling. Haven't been through that. Hey, Jolie, see your hands up. How was that for you?
Well, it was serendipitous to be in a breakout room with Jolene. So Jolie and Jolene were hanging out. And it was awesome to both discover the NVC and just healing is just that a lovely piece of how NVC has been healing, and her calling is healing, and mine is through education. So yeah, that was lovely.
Nice little synergy there.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Jolie. All right, anyone else want to share how that was for you? How you're feeling now, having been connecting with someone else? Mary, I see your hands up.
Hi there.
Go ahead,
I enjoyed it very much. I was just appreciated. I was in breakout room with Chris, and when I said my passion, he actually asked me a question about it. And I just thought that was so sweet. Like some people just sit there and, but he's, oh, well, I hear that, but you know, is blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, it was just really nice. So thanks for that.
Thanks, Mary. So you noticed feeling maybe a little bit more energized because of the other person's interests. Yeah, and that's part of the magic behind that question, is that as we speak about our passions, the things that are really important to us, I notice that I feel energized, and I love sharing my passion with other people. So part of the practice of nonviolent communication is frequently turning into not only your passions, but what's alive in you. So what's your truth? What are your needs? What's really alive for me right now in this moment? So that was kind of a little teaser there of little quick NVC practice. And the better you are at connecting to your truth, the easier it'll become for you to share your scary honesty. All right, so that's where we're going. I do want to do a little quick survey and collect from you all. What are some of the reasons that you're here? And I'd love to hear from 4 or 5 people, just to gather a little bit about, what are some of the reasons that you're here. Please raise your hand, your digital hand. And Mauricio, go ahead. I see your hands up.
Yes, a friend of mine recommended that I read one of the Marshall Rosenberg's book. And so I read it and I found it very influential, but I don't know how to put it into practice. Like, the book is great and I'm all on board with it in theory, but I want to figure out more how I can put it in practice and get the right words and, the right framing.
Thank you, Mauricio. Thanks. I see Rich, your hand's up, and then Rita. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, James. Hey, I've been kind of studying and working with NVC off and on for 10 years or so. And I haven't been to one of your workshops in a while, James. So I just wanted to come in and check it out and get a little more practice on sort of practicing NVC, because that's what it takes. So I'm glad to be here.
All right, thanks, Rich. Rita, and then Nicole.
Yeah, in short, to improve my communication, I was introduced to the book NVC by my acupuncturist probably 3 years ago, maybe 4. And I read the book at least once a year because it's so good. And I'm always looking for, how can I improve on communication? How can I better implement this communication style?
All right, thank you. And I'm wondering, Maggie, if you can help me collect some of the names, Nicole and then Nikki. And would like to do like 3 more, and then we should probably move on. Go ahead, Nicole. Why are you here? If you're talking, I can't hear you. Could you
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Hi. So I am here because I have found, I can't really speak for men, but as my experience as a woman, a lot of the times I have found, like, the women in my life either don't express themselves because they have kind of been taught, to put others before themselves, and so to sort of ignore their needs for other people's needs. And so a lot of the communication styles that I've seen in my life are either not communicating at all, or it comes out as sort of like passive aggressiveness or hostility that's sort of just leaking. And that's been the case with friends, with family. And so I'm here because not only would I like to break that cycle and be able to healthily express my needs, but I'd also be able to potentially help other women express their needs in a way that's healthy for them.
And to help others. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Nikki and Elizabeth, and then wanting to invite others to consider if you've heard yours already. But it's good. Let's start. We have 3 more hands. Nikki, Elizabeth, and then Jim.
I have a lot of similarities to the people before, but I'm very specific and clear that I want to feel safe to hear my truth. I've been saying this for months now. Hear my truth, accept my truth, share my truth on, and then express that truth without feeling afraid of other people's reactions or anger, and not have that tightness or that scared feeling. I don't want it. That's violent to me. I don't want to have that.
Yeah, so you'd like it to be easier.
Yeah, to be able to tell my truth.
Thank you. You're in the right place. All right, Nikki and Elizabeth, and then Jim, and then we'll move on.
Hi, so I'm a therapist and I work with juvenile offenders, and these youth don't know how to communicate with their parents. And I would like to open a line of communication between the parent and the child. And we tried, using I statements rather than you statements, but it doesn't quite get the job done. So I'm hoping nonviolent communication will be that link between the parent and the child communicating.
Thank you. All right, and then Jim. Thanks a little bit.
Yes, I was recommended by my mental health counselor, and I'm recovering from 40 plus years of isolation and institutional life, and I'd like to have some sort of a life hereafter.
Yeah, wanting to live more fully. Yeah, thank you. All right, thanks everyone. And I'm going to suggest moving on now. Thank you, Jim. And a quick Zoom guide, we've been doing it so far. Raise your hand by clicking on reactions and then the raise hand button. You can use the chat window to ask questions from the group. I can't monitor it in real time, but Maggie said that she'd help me out in case something's important and relevant. And please mute yourself until ready to talk. It contributes to flow of the group. And you can use the space bar as a push to talk button, which is kind of cool. And that works on laptops, not on iPads, I've found.